a very good morning to you all. My name is Daddy Chris from Srtv Studio here in London, and it is Wake Up Nigeria. What we do here, this is a show where we take a look at what is happening in the country. Oof, how you feeling, guys? It's Monday. This guy said, Black Uhuru said, one day he doesn't like his Monday because that is the day that slavery begins, and today is one of those days where we wake up in the morning, we have to do all the important thing and we have to get down to work. And it's Monday. Monday is one day I don't really like, but that is the beginning of a great day. Let us take a look at what we have today. On the show, I have something really planned out. And I was really trying to say, let us talk about how do we fight poverty in our dear nation called Nigeria. But I can tell you frankly that Babangida issue won't let me rest. So it's still on the top burner. We might be deviated. We might go and look at that. But my interest today will really to look at how do we fight poverty. Because what I have a different opinion, and I hope I will be able to share this thought with some of my guests today. And I pray that Asaba is able to join me this morning because I'm going to revote. Let me see. Let's hope that Asaba is ready to join us today. Hello, Asaba.
Good morning, Daddy Chris.
I'm happy you guys can speak out for once.
Good morning, Daddy Chris.
Morning. You see, have a very big speaker echoing to us. We need to sort that, but that is better than
that.
It looks as if what is happening with your sound is still not very sweet, but we can at least. It's like, am I echoing or is there echo in your studio? That's something we need to do before we even come live. I'm really not happy with this.
There's no echo.
Yeah, but you people are really not. I don't understand this sound. Sometimes even when I talk from my ordinary laptop, it doesn't appear this way. Listen, all right, we're gonna go with the show as it is. Let's hope that we can manage it as it is this morning. Where the morning show, as we said, is we're gonna take a look at how do we fight poverty in Nigeria. First, let us know. Let me introduce these two new people to you guys. This is powerful Evelyn. Evelyn, introduce yourself to Srtv audience.
My name is Evelyn Leo, the presenter here at Srtv Asaba.
Okay, my name is Benji Binitie.
Okay.
Srtv Asaba.
Amazing. And I'm sure you guys are looking in one direction. If you just can look at the camera, then we'll be talking. So don't look at the screen. Look at your camera so that we can look at me the way I'm looking at you now. See, and the only way you can look at me is when you look at your camera, right? So let's do that. Okay. Interesting. Evelyn, let us start today by saying that your former president. No, you are too young. I don't want to throw this body on you. I will throw that on on Binitie. Binitie, Benjamin, your former president has openly written away. I don't know whether he apologized or not, whether he has even admitted any fault or not. What I do know is that the former head of state wrote his own autobiography, and it is an odd I can hear from people. The man is only attempting to defend himself. He's pushing the blames to others. Maybe that is my take. Is that the case? Is that what you have heard? Or maybe that the case is a little bit paranoid?
Well, that is the view of many Nigerians, I can assure you. But it's like he has pushed a lot of burden out of his heart. Now that is why he has come out 32 years after to say whatever he has said. And just the human being, that is the way it is. There are people that applaud what he has written, and there are people, and many have condemned what he has come out with. Some are saying it's an afterthought, and some are saying it is a guilty conscience that is worrying him. And others have said all the people he mentioned to be responsible for all that happened during his tenure, they are all dead, and dead men don't bite, so to say. And that is why he decided to come out now. That is why he has mentioned names of those who are no longer able to defend themselves. That is the opinion of many Nigerians, even though some are Him saying he has done well by clearing a lot of mess that he put on ground. That is the way it is for now.
Well, those of us that lived through the time, we're a little bit concerned. Well, Babangida is been we call him Maradona of our time. He was a Maradona, and I'm sure when we take a look at the papers, we can't wait what the papers will have to say about this man, and what prosperity will judge him. All I do know,
To me, the
no,
book is a confession book.
it's a confession book, right?
It's like a confession book, but it's not complete because the full details is not there. What we want to hear is not really in that book. If there are threats out there, we should get names. Since he's aware, because of the annulment of that election, he's aware, okay, Abiola's life was in danger. It should be in that book. At least we should get names of people who were threats at that time. So I feel this confession book is really complete to me. I don't see the reason why it's coming out now to say all this. I don't see the reason.
Well,
And a lot of people have also said that having come out with this.
Yeah. Okay. That is the network trying to frustrate us. But I'm sure I will have my guests. They will be with me fully today to actually take a look at the issue. I don't know about Nigerians. I don't know about you watching today. The question is, has this book really answered the question? Or has Babangida done well by actually doing his autobiography? And he has the right to write his own autobiography. Everybody wants to be remembered for something. If there's no counter, this becomes what children will have to read, and it is a dangerous one. If we, you know, I say something. I'm sorry to all of us who are Christians and most of us who have a better religion than the African traditional religion. I always say that the Jewish people were the only people that were able to write down their history, their culture, their things, and today is the most acceptable book in the world. Maybe had it been the Robo man was able to write the culture, the history of his own people, that would be another Bible. That would be Bible too. That is anyway if we're able to defend it. So today, Babangida has been able to write his own book, his own history. I want to say to these Abiola children, I know they were angry, they were trying to counter, they were. The question I asked them is, what have you written about your own dad? It's a question. Have you written a book about your dad? You might not, the Abiola is rich enough. He's one of the most influential men of our time. Let me add Unity to the show again. Are you back? Asaba, you guys back?
Yes, we are back.
Yes. And my first take on this whole episode, like Evelyn was saying, is that the man wrote a book. It's like a confession book. But let us take a look at it from the general surface first. He has done something well. Like the biggest book everybody read today. Go and read your Bible. Go and read your Bible. Go and read your Bible. Is the Bible the history of the mankind? No, the Bible is the history of the Jewish people. In fact, the children of Israel, the book is written to suit them. Because sometimes when I read the Bible, sorry, Christians, they tell me the children of Abraham, that we are all descendants of Abraham. Those descendants of Abraham. I don't think I'm a descendant of Abraham anyway. Though we claim it now. That's what they say we should claim descendants of Abraham. Right? That is what we claim. I know most of you are Christians. But it's quite interesting.
That is why I call Christian.
Yes. But what I like about it is that this is a book about the children of Abraham, but Abraham have two children. One is Isaac, the other one is actually Ishmael. The children of Ishmael are not part of this history. I think they are outcasts in this book called the Bible. I'm sorry, but even the children of the children of Isaac divided into two, have the Esau and Jacob, and Esau have a big problem with Jacob. Anyway, it is the children of Israel that are ruling. That is the children of Jacob. So that is a history written by a particular set of people, and they will write it to suit themselves. Abraham has come up and write a book about himself. If there's no counter book, That becomes the history children will see. Maybe if the children of Ishmael has written their own book and they have a loud mouth, we'll be seeing another part of the story today. I've watched a couple of movies,
Yes.
which is the story of Esau and Jacob. From the Islamic point of view, it was a disaster. I don't know, Christians don't want to watch that. All right, many of you must have not watched that, but I've watched it as a filmmaker. We are exposed to a couple of things. So, what I want to say is that the children, I know the children of Abiola is one rich man. He has enough money. And I'm asking now, has the children of MK Abiola even taken it upon themselves to write something about this great man that made the sacrifice for the country? Has there been meaningful documentary? Have there been meaningful documentary on the man himself? Yeah.
Yes, maybe with Babangida publishing his book, it will spur them to do something about their own father.
Thank
There's
you.
no doubt that when their father died,
Yes.
a lot of vacuum was left that needed to be filled. And coming from a polygamous home, it was every man for himself and God for us all. That was how the family went. The ones Udira's children were on their own. The other women, they have their children on their own. So there was no unity among the children. But maybe now that Babangida has come up with this controversial book, one or two might find the courage to come up with their own side of the story, highlighting what their father was and what he would have been and what he would have done for Nigeria had he been the president.
Thank you. That, in fact, that is
My
something we're
major
waiting for you. Yes. Go on, evening.
and major concern was I like the reason why he even brought out that, like exposing that Abiola would have won, like actually won that election. Now, I don't see any reason why he came up with that after. Is it that the children should celebrate the victory of something that they can't hold right now? I don't see how it is necessary to even say that or bring that up. It's something that.
Yes, it's painful. It's painful. But if he's going to write his book, he cannot write anything about himself without Abiola now. Now, the history of Babangida is now tailored around Abiola. He knows he has no history other than Abiola, which is a shame. You understand? And that is the thing. That is what evil can never defeat good. It might be temporarily, but good will always take over evil with time. I think Babangida will admit today that good has taken over evil. Whether he acknowledged it in the interest of himself or the country, the good or the death of Abiola has turned out to be good, which is not defeating him as an evil man. But let's come to I want us to look at the I want to blame the journalists here right now, and I want to blame Nigerian filmmakers. We have a great man called MKO Abiola. The man, his death, he doesn't have resurrection, because if he had resurrection, we'll be talking Jesus Christ. His death has brought democracy to us today. The democracy we are enjoying now is, but I've never really seen a beautiful documentary about this man. The whole Nollywood have been making movies. Nobody could even say, let us make a film about this great man who won, even if it is a story around the June 12th alone. Name it for what it is. You know what? Let me tell you guys this. When I went to see the movie Passion of the Christ by Mel Gibson, I came out with my girlfriend, and what the guy said to me, he said, that is the gospel according to Mel Gibson. That picture is what I see. I don't even see the Bible anymore. I saw what Mel Gibson represented on that big screen about Jesus. Don't watch it, because if you watch it, you see that one is Jesus. I mean, I don't know whether I want to put this to Evelyn. Evelyn, have you read my book of Bible story? My book of Bible story. That's Jehovah Witness book.
Bible story. Yes, yes.
You see Jesus Christ there. You understand? When I see, there's a way they represent God. Yeah.
No one actually knows the true image. No one actually knows the true image of Jesus Christ. So I can't be sure he's actually the one.
Yes. But as a child, that is what we have. You understand? What I'm trying to say is that as a child, that is what we have. Yeah? And that is what we believe.
Yes.
So when I watched the Passion of the Christ, I saw the image of Jesus. That's what I believe. Now, that is the power of images. All right, Babangida have done something. The book is now still not going to do the job. But when people put this book into a picture and moving image, it sticks. Yeah. Now my question is, why have we, the filmmakers, how we, the journalists, have not taken time to immortalize Abiola so that we have another story? Because what Babangida
Yes.
is saying can only be countered if you hear what other people have to say. I'm not sure people are boiling at home. People that have something to say, they are quiet, they have nowhere to say it. I'm sure if people were doing documentaries about this great man, would have
Yes,
gone.
efforts. I don't know whether the filmmakers have made their own efforts. I
Yes.
don't know whether journalists have done the same thing. But you see, for who do they pick? In the Abiola family. Is it because, like I said, the family was torn apart after the death of their father? Who do they now meet to say, tell us about your father so that we build up on what we have?
Yes.
The same thing for filmmakers and journalists. It's a little bit difficult so that you don't come out with something that is not credible or that is wishy-washy. I think that is the yes, the difficult task in it.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. Anyway, perhaps this is a wake up call now, like Benjamin just said. It's a wake up call for all of us to learn to document history. I intentionally talk about the Bible, offending Christians. Perhaps I just want to offend them. I'm intentionally doing so that people can think. You understand that some of the things we accept are what Babangida has just done. When a book is written, children and children to come, they won't know the whole truth. Like Evelyn said, I don't know whether that is the true picture of Jesus Christ, but this is what you have, all right? Because that is what
Yes.
somebody presented to you, all right? And people have better story. People have good image of Jesus. We don't have it. You understand? But the one given to you after some years, 2,000 years, is what you have now. So perhaps if we begin to document our history properly in this,
Yes.
especially this time when we have the technology to do so, it will save a lot of trouble. Babangida coming out
Very well.
to slap the nation with the story of how he annoyed the election and why he annoyed the election. The thing I find annoying in all is Babangida said he did it in the interest of the nation. The question is, what were the real threats? Who were those that were going to kill us? Are they still there? And so we want to know so that we can fight it now. We don't want to go back. We're not talking about revenge, so that we can guide against it. What Babangida did not realize is that had Abiola came to power without victory, the history of rigging election would have died in Nigeria. Because that would have been a credible election that the world knew that Abiola genuinely won the election, and that trend would have continued. But because that didn't happen, today our election is always on. Oh, they rank the election. They enjoy rigging. Rigging is now part of our culture.
The
I'm
ones
sure.
we are going to go to court.
Yes, thank you. They will say go to court. I like the language. When Nigerian police are telling you go to court, you know where you're going to go. Who are you?
The judge said before you.
So that is the legacy. I think Babangida need to know that is one of the legacy of annulling June 12th. Today,
Yes.
rigging of elections, fraudulent election is now part of our culture, and it has come to stay. And perhaps if children begin to make this kind
Painfully, yes.
it's painfully. If children begin to make this kind of movie, they will be technically addressing it one way or the other. And I pray they will do so quickly. Another thing which I want Benite to talk about quickly. I know, Evelyn will not have been born. Let's talk about Dele Giwa, something that was really painful. You understand?
Yes.
Dele Giwa received a letter from the, anyway, we don't know now because no story were being told, no books were written, no documentaries were made. I am crying today because these things are things that should have been written by one person or the other. I'm sure Dele Giwa had a family, they have friends who could have put something on paper for us. Nothing happened. Today, Babangida is saying, oh, that the death of Dele Giwa has nothing to do with it. I'm sure the man has nothing to. He's saying he has nothing to do with it. Somebody received a letter and it was a bomb. We're talking it far back then, not this modern time. A letter, you open a letter and it boom. The man was gone. The death of
Well,
Telegram.
like they say in the courts, circumstantial evidence can nail anybody. And from all that happened before the letter bomb arrived,
Yes.
it was very obvious that the authorities had a hand in it. And if the authorities had a hand, the person in charge must be the one held responsible, letting me those he delegated the assignment. That is the way I see it. A lot of people have also taken a swipe at his comments on Dilegua that he has no hand in his death. But who believes him? Like I said, circumstantial evidence before the man passed was killed points to the authorities having a hand in killing in the death of Dilegua. So that is the way it is, and that is the way it will be in the minds of Nigerians, whether you like it, whether he likes it or not.
But I thank you, Benito, for this. You see, now, if Babangida, let's assume that he doesn't even, he said that, oh, I am not one of those. I wasn't the one that sent the bomb. But did you know who sent the bomb? And if you didn't,
That
did
is
you
it.
investigate it? You see, these are the things. This man needs
That
to
is
be.
it.
Babangida, we need to bring her down. Children go pick up small picking here. They will take her the
He,
beat her for here. Baba,
he will
what
not.
is
He will not. Not reveal that. He won't reveal that because allegedly they are the one forming those things. Because if you should ask why is he still alive since there is a threat out there,
yes? We're
why
coming to
is it
that.
that he's still alive?
He's a coward. I never knew. We're going to conclude by the end of the day whether the man is really a coward. That was my conclusion. I never knew that he was a coward. We'll come to that. So
Yes.
Babangida did not. Babangida is saying that he is not the one that sent the bomb. Okay, sir. Did you know who sent the bomb? If you don't,
That is
did
it.
you investigate it because you were the head of state? A journalist
Yes.
who was working, doing his innocent job, was received a letter, and it was a letter bomb. He got killed. Did you investigate it, sir? If you don't, is that not a failure on your part? Are you who do we hold accountable in a country like that? We'll come to that another day. So Nigerians are taking things, and it's good to dissect so that we understand where we are. If I talk about the last one, I know many people will not be happy with me. So I will better keep quiet. You know, the last bit of it is personal. So I always, and the implication is what Babangida did that you people are celebrating. The bottom line is we now raise a lot of money. When I say a good amount of money, let me repeat, a huge amount of money is what the man raised in the name of that book. Now, I want to commend Babangida for writing this book. And I want to shame us for not having a counter say. And it's exactly what we have today. And in a way, why Christians are, I'm going to say things today that will annoy many people. Why Christians want to tell us what to believe about the story of the children of Abraham, which is still playing in the world today. See, I'm no Muslim. My name is Christian, but I hate injustice. And I dare not open my mouth and say it where I am. So I'm going to be quiet. But why you tell us the story of the children of Abraham and you call one an evil man while the other one is, and when you look at the story, somebody who took his brother's right for food, for piece of meat, it cannot be a good person. Anyway, we'll come to that another day. And yet, the children of Ishmael, if they now come up with Islam and they are revolting in any way they can, you see, you cannot be defending yourself. Perhaps what Babangida has done today, Babangida, I'm talking to you now, that by the time the children of Abiola or the ones you killed, I now have 2, 3 people who want to come on this show to talk about what happened to their family. Your best friend you killed, the story you are telling us, we want to know, was that a real coup? Because there may be 2 or 3 other sides of the story, sir. You are still alive, and you will be alive. What you open, the one you open, you might not be able to contain it. Because I'm sure a lot of people are aggrieved right now. If I were I was the son of the man you killed in the name of a best friend, in the name of a coup, I will investigate the coup. You see, When a child wants to revenge the death of his father, it's always tough. Baba, be ready. But I'm not drawing judgment, but I'm just saying that this is a wake-up call for every single one of us to try and leave a legacy and document it in any way you can. Because if nothing is done, Babangida's story will prevail. Right now, I can say all I want. Until it is well put together, it is still what they say. At the end of the day, what children in 100 years to come will have to read will be this book. And that will be the story of our time. Like I said now, the only book we read in the time of Jesus is the Bible. Maybe there were other stories written, but this is the one we have. The children of Abraham have a story written according to the children of Israel, of Jacob. That is the story we have. What about the story of the other children? May God help every one of us. I'm here to annoy you this morning because I want you to start to think. Babangida just came out to insult the nation, and I think it needs to be addressed. Like I said today, I would have loved to discuss something different. And what I've been discussing would have been fighting poverty in Nigeria. But I cannot be missing the two. But Babangida, perhaps one of the things you should know is that as much as you try to stick to power, you're out of power still. You're no more in power today. Tinubu, stick to power as much as you want. You will leave power one day. That decrease, you can do anything you want. After some time, I'll get tired. I'm going to run out. I'm going to leave the scene. The world belongs to God. Anyway, I hope that my people are back. Hello, welcome back, Asaba.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You people are like Evelyn now. You know, when you talk to women, sometimes they don't listen. They say, no, they have a way of going up and on. Emily, try and stabilize for us now. Forgive us so that we can move on.
We stabilize.
We will have a way of moving up and down. Anyway, like we said, I'm sure we have more to say about documenting our own history as a nation. Before, why I think this is important is that when I studied films, I was taught that cinema started in Egypt. The cinema we are talking about today. All right, this moving image we are using now, the technology actually started in Egypt because you see the pharaohs, when they died then, they want to be preserved. So they were preserving the physical body. That was how it started. Meaning cinema was just an attempt. I'm coming when I finish. You find that the essence of cinema is just to preserve history, preserve document. So when the pharaohs found out that this body is dead, that you cannot bring the body back. With time, the idea of people to just paint them or just draw them. So they were drawing them.
Yes.
They said, this is equal to being there. It's the same thing because even if you preserve the body, the image is what we are preserving. You understand? So the drawing was equal to a way of preserving that pharaoh. So that was from that time that they stopped preserving the physical dead bodies. So they now they were happy with just drawing. From drawing come painting. You know, after some people come, this one is not enough. Why don't we put some shading? Then put some colors. And that is painting came from drawing. And from painting come moving image, which is movies, which is what we are using now. Photography. You see? So that is how the evolution of cinema. Though in my book, I am arguing that cinema actually started in Benin. Because if you see what the Benin people were able to do far back, in the olden days, what they did, in fact, with the broadcasting, because the broadcasting, if you watch most of the bronze, was that the Oba of Benin then, we commission people, if they had an Olympics, for instance, we commission people to put the event in a car. So any of those things that the white people took away were a history of what happened in Benin. You understand? Yeah. But that was the way of. But the people then could not defend what we have, and we were told that everything we had were barbaric, we were primitive, we had no civilization. May God help every one of us. Today's civilization started in Egypt. So So it is very important for children of our time to learn and maybe put some of these things to practice. Moving image is very important. The essence of all we do, the essence of what Babangida has done is about to preserve history. Just the way the Bible preserved the history of the Jewish people. Now, the Yoruba people where I come from don't have a history because nothing is written about us. You see, and it's something everybody here now, we should be thinking, what are we doing? Before I leave, and I want to throw a bomb on this show, and I only say it because I get sometimes very, very painful. Anytime I remember Babangida, I remember one thing. I was in Lagos. Evelyn, you can close your eye. You were not born then. So I've been talking to you now. I was in Lagos when they announced the creation of states. Delta State was created. And we were celebrating. Then one of my friends said, well, I don't know whether to congratulate you or to help you to cry. They created your state, but the capital is in Asaba. I said, where is Asaba again? Then I never know anything called Asaba. You understand? I thought it was coming to Warri or something like that. But it didn't happen. Today, Babangida confessed that a woman stole his heart. That is where you guys are now. Srtv Asaba.
The woman stole his heart.
Yes, so and that is why he said. Do you know the implication? That is why Babangida, what you did then is what happened today. Today is the first time we have Srtv Asaba on this platform. Credit to Babangida because I didn't know he had not created Asaba as our capital. I'm sure Srtv will not be in Asaba. Probably Srtv will be in Warri as we speak. You see? So
does the credit go to him or to the wife? A powerful wife, does the credit go to Babangida or a powerful wife that he had?
Well, what can I say? What can I say? Women have a way of burning our head. Women they are very powerful people. These people call women. I don't know why God created them in something to some extent. I know the women go best now. I know God must create tonight. Yes. They cannot create us. No, I love my mom. But the bottom line is
God knows men need us.
We know say when I get power, Evelyn. Anyway, so that is one segment of the show I want us to look at, and I hope that Nigerians, as the days unfold, as things happen, that there will be opportunity to revisit this story and straighten it, so that we don't have only one side of the story. Yeah, it's good to have
like you said, we were in Lagos when states were created. Yes. I was in Benin, and when Delta State was created, we were happy, but by the time we realized the name of the capital, we see the happiness died down. And we're now grumbling everybody to his own corner to say, why? How can we? Before the states were created, I had been to Asaba once, in company of the governor, the military governor of Benin State then. And Asaba was just a one-street town. One street, and no more than that. And by the time we moved from Benin to Asaba, well, it was a terrible experience. But with time, we got to ride it. Then the traffic was every Friday, the movement from Asaba to Warri area or back to Benin, the traffic was usually very heavy. But with time, we are talking about 30, how many years now? After the creation of this year, it will be 34. Things have normalized. If things are going to be rectified again, it will be a welcome development. And things, the same people who were not happy then, will be happier when the real thing is done. That is the way some of us are looking at state creation.
Well, Benjamin, is a very tricky one because I'm happy you put it correctly. You see, the state created, and you see, I said it on Saturday here that when people are used to evil, it becomes normal. You know, now it's in Nigeria, it's normal not to have electricity. You understand? And you guys can understand. In the UK, we will collapse. What's happened? Where's the light? We don't understand it. It's not in our DNA. You understand? But it's in the DNA. Even as stupid, as nonsensical as it is normal not to have light, and you guys can sleep well. Some people will collapse here. You understand? We are used to it. Yeah, you see, which is not something which should be
One
used to.
one of the topics you've scheduled for today is how do we eradicate poverty? You can't
Exactly.
eradicate poverty with total lack of energy or power. That is one of the major things. So until it is there, poverty will continue to remain with us majorly.
So that help us
It's not
to
something that can be eradicated in a day, not even in a year or years to come.
yes. So and
That's for
that brings us
Nigeria.
to the topic of today. You know, Babangida, I said, have a way of stealing the day. We have to deal with that. I know Babangida will take a look at the papers, it's going to drag us back. But let's take a look at today's topic, which is fighting poverty in Nigeria. I'm happy Benjamin took us here, and we are here. You know, the question is, how do we actually fight poverty? You know, I'm looking at it from every angle. Let's take a look at what I'm sure we cannot finish this topic today, but we can. Let's touch it and hopefully come back to it. And let's look at what the international community can do. And in a way, they owe us. The world owe Africa. They owe Nigeria because they came at a point in time. They were not invited. They came. They took all they could take. We didn't invite them. First, they took us as slaves. They came back to rule us for so many years, took our belongings, and today we are poor. And it's only moral for them to give back to that place where they took a lot from. And that is a debate, and I'm sure that is something our children will ask. I know that this generation could not ask. I remember when we asked Tony Blair for reparation, they said no reparation in my time. We asked any government in the UK, there will be no reparation. America don't even want to talk about it. But you took us as slaves for years, and we cannot ask questions, so may God help every one of us. Anyway, but today, they give us aids. All right? If you're doing something, they help us with one or two things to do. Can aids really help somebody? If somebody in your family come to you and say, I am broke, I am hungry. The first thing to do is maybe give me something to eat. But is that a solution to the problem? So that is where we are. How do we fight poverty from the internet? Let's talk the international community first. They keep giving us aids. And when you die, they give you food now. Did they not supply you medicine? Kai, is that a way to help people? I never see somebody you help by help. Urobo say, don't teach me don't give me food, teach me how to fish. Don't give me fish.
How to fish.
But these people don't teach us how to fish. The international community are not teaching us how to fish. And of course, they teach us only one thing, or maybe we want to learn only one thing from them, how to rig election. You know, because all we saw is they taught us there's something called democracy, which is good. Let us pick somebody to rule us, which is interesting. But they didn't tell us that this is not how you do it, because in the UK, they don't rig their elections. They allow the person who win to win. That way they have kind of stability of a system. But in Nigeria, rigging is a part of our culture. Thanks to Babangida and thanks to all we are seeing today. And that is, how can you fight poverty? Why do we learn? How do we not question the things that are always thrown to us? I know I don't want to annoy Christians now, but let's talk about the physical things. So many people come to us, they give us certain things. Why don't we tell these people, you can't be giving us aid. Don't give us fish. Teach us how to fish. And perhaps I'm saying this to NGOs in Nigeria. You people that always come to say, oh, we want to do this, we want to do this. Are you teaching the people how to get out of the problem? Or you are just giving them toffee? I know maybe I'm going to throw this to Benji again. Benji, when we're growing up, there's something we call toffee.
Yes.
You know toffee?
Yes.
Toffee,
Yes.
it's a very
Very
sweet thing.
Yes.
Emily, do you know what is toffee? Emily won't know that.
Yes, I know. I know what
Emily,
it's talking.
you know what it's called? You know what it's called? Goody goody.
What's called?
Goody goody.
Is that?
Goody
Goody
goody.
goody. Oh, yes, I know.
Goody goody is like toffee too. If you lick it, that thing is sweet, man. You understand? That is another. I'm sure you did taste it by that time. What I'm just trying to say is that some of these things are sweet, but they may not be good for us. You understand? Some of the things they give to
Yes.
you can say today, let us, today now, I'm afraid I don't take sugar because sugar is not good for me. You understand? At this age, sugar is no more good for me. Before I used to take sugar, I thought sugar is good. The effect of sugar is what I'm suffering today. So sugar is one of the things you must not eat. Bitter leaf is bitter, but if you take bitter leaf, your system begins to regulate right now. You understand? So sometimes it's good to taste bitter leaf before the sugar in you will come out. And perhaps if we go back to the Bible, Jesus Christ had to die painfully, but from his death comes salvation. But we don't want to die,
Yes.
but we want to go to heaven. Now the white people are giving us toffee, sugar, which is why they took us as slaves in the first place. They still giving us sugar. They're not teaching us how to make our own sugar. And we're not ready to make the sacrifice to get our sugar. Thanks to Babangida, low-life people like him, for playing the gallery of the white people who took us as slaves. But Babangida is another slave master. So how do we live in a society? Okay, let me put it this way: how do we fight poverty from the international point of view? I'll leave that to Benjamin and Evan. What do we do there?
Okay. Let me start by saying that the international community will never want to be like them. The best they can do for you is to give you aid as they are doing.
All right, the network keeps shaking, but we're going to have Benjamin back. Yeah, and I agree with Benjamin. He just made one big statement there. Why would the international community want you to be like them? It's a good question. Well, everything seems to be upsetting in my studio. Don't worry. My case is easier to set back. It's only them in Asaba that have the issue of how do I come back? That the Chris can easily come back. I'm going to do one or two things and I'll be back. All right, I'm back. All right, okay, good. So, well, this is Wake Up Nigeria, and we're talking about how to fight poverty. We started with Babangida and his book, and now we're looking at how we fight poverty in Nigeria. These are two difficult issues. If I leave Benjamin, they're going to blame Nigerian government. So I wanted to start from the international community first. My people say you cannot blame other people for your problem. Why are you blaming others? Why are you not blaming yourself? That is where Babangida, we started with Babangida. Babangida, you see where our problem is. You know, as a head of state, what you went through when you were talking to the international community. I don't know whether you talk about your fault. I can't wait to read your book, because as a head of state, I want to see how you were able to deal with the international community. I stand to be corrected. During Babangida's time, Babangida took IMF loan. You know, there was a time Babangida said we will not pay our debts. At the end of the day, there was a turnaround. The Baba started to pay debt. The international community, they are powerful. You can't just get up and do what you want. And we want to use this opportunity to call on them to help solve the problem of poverty in Nigeria in particular. Nigerians have no business coming abroad to come and do one or two things. We have a home. And if you want people to stay in their home, help them stay in their home. The way you were able to go there. And on a good day, nobody will be calling on the international community that you must help Africa. But the reason we have a right to call on you today is because at a point in time, once upon a time, that was what I was taught when I was a child. You went there to take what you like. You even take human beings, you took them, they are there now, they're still here everywhere. As slaves, they work for you. Today, it's only moral for you to give back to them. But don't give back to them by giving them food, sugar, so they go and kill themselves. Because you know sugar is going to kill them. Like somebody that does me good today, give me sugar, you're killing me. When you give me bitter leaf, you're teaching me a lesson. You're telling me to live healthy. Can you imagine? In those days, you might be thinking that somebody that's going to give you food should give you sugar. No, somebody that gives you sugar is actually killing you. Let them give us bitter leaf. What is bitter leaf in this context? Teach us the hard way to learn, to behave, to run our own society, not to encourage corruption. Because 90% of the loot are in your land. Either they are in Switzerland, they are in the United Kingdom, they are in the United States. In the first place, why would the Nigerian politicians, why would an African politician be allowed to even buy a property outside the country? You no get house, you no get village. So we come to that. So the international community can help us. They can help us solve 90% of the poverty if they can do one thing alone. Stop our thieves from bringing the money to them. Keep them. In fact, they should send all of us back home. It will not even be a bad thing. Send everybody back to their land. Everybody, let us separate the world again. The way God separated it. That decrees all of you black people go to your country where you come from. You white people go to your country. Let us go back. And you will be surprised everybody will begin to build their own. Because now the world is trying to miss. The mixture is causing big problems. Some people are left behind. And this is the implication for the West. I'm just talking about the fighting poverty from the international point of view. I'm coming locally. By the time there is poverty there, you will not have peace yet, because what will happen is my hands keep touching something. I don't know why. I'm bringing it back, and it's such a shame this morning. Anyway, what I do know is that there will be justice, and the justice will come. It will come, but when you try, sir, to help those in poverty, you're actually helping yourself, because they will begin to solve the problem. You have peace at home. I'm sure the West are tired of black people. Oh, the next thing we see today now on the news in England is, oh, how some people have drowned and the boat that is coming. Now it's a good political regime here for you to tell people, I will send all immigrants away. I will sell all the immigrants away. So stop giving them sugar. Teach them how to feed themselves. And one way to do that, we didn't even say to bring us your own money. Stop taking our money. And our money you're taking from our politicians is stealing. In fact, until the international community will have a law that will punish nations that accept politicians' loot, this world will never be in a good place. And that's why we said we need one united nation, one world, where there's only one law that governs mankind. Yeah, that's what the Bible is saying. Or what other religious book are saying. And it's difficult to give it to related to the Bible. But that is where sometimes I begin to say, yes, there's need to have world government. Not Russia saying its own, America saying its own. No, one government, one world government. So that one will speak and we will all obey. And perhaps that is when mankind will come to stay. And all of us should go to our home. And we should all contribute to the world. And I'm sure I'll be happy to go to my village and contribute from there. So anyway, that is fighting poverty from the international community. I'm alone, so don't worry, I'm good at this. I'm going to flow with it. So let's talk about number 2. I'm sure when my people come back, I'm going to revisit this. Let's look at what the government of Africa, Nigeria in particular, should do. May I remind those of you, those village fools who are in power today in Nigeria, sorry, I called some of you village fools. You know why? This same Babangida that we are fighting now, that is come out in shame today. So you were with me when we were fighting his government for the bad things he was doing. We were not blind. We know what Babangida was doing, and we were fighting him. We said a lot of things. Tinubu, you were one of those that used Nadeko as an instrument to fight the government of Nigeria. You said you are a Democrat. What kind of democracy do you understand? Is it democracy that wins election? I don't understand us, man. Sometimes you guys are making mockery of our system. Again, until the sincerity of purpose comes to play, we're all going to be in mess. I'm sure, Tinubu, you are not enjoying yourself as the head of state, of the president. Because I've been the president of the United States. Everywhere you go, you have joy. You have your people. And you are strong. Now, if America say run, you will run. If Donald Trump says shut up, you will shut up. Because the man will come and beat you. But there's something you would have done. You'll be more powerful than Donald Trump. Or you'll be as powerful as he is. Now, anytime America talk, everybody they mess. Britain talk. And I saw what the Biafrans are doing. They're calling on Britain to recognize them. The stupid Afenifere people, is it the Yoruba man come here and say, make Britain call recognize her. Now, Britain be your papa. fools. Do you have a destiny? Can you decide your own destiny? Even if you want to break out of Nigeria, must you come to Britain for acknowledgement, for us to recognize you? Again, I'm talking big here, and I know I could get into serious trouble. But sometimes you guys make me angry. You shit. This is a time where Nigerians need to sit and ask ourselves the difficult question. I've challenged the international community. They don't need to give us anything back. Even if they don't want to pay us for what they've taken from us, they should stop everybody from coming here with our money. Tell us to keep our money at home and use it at home. Do you know how many Nigerian politicians have houses abroad? All these village fools. If you say you are not a village fool, you get house abroad. Who you, when you papa poor pass anything, where you foresee money buy house for abroad? All these village fools that turn out to be politicians. Where did you father make money that you bought a house in America or in Britain? You see what I'm saying? Let me say this. The Bible said you should teach your land. It didn't say you should carry it away. If you even steal money and you invest it in Nigeria, it's not you that will have it. It's Nigerians that will, because you will die. I saw the one the former CBN governor had in Abuja. I said, may they not take her from her. She be investing for Abuja. In our land now, at the end of the day, the Okpe go die. Other people will take the land. Invest it. It's a problem when you take it from there and bring it to America. When your own people who will be dying in poverty and the houses in the US, you don't need it. How many of you blaming the man now? Maybe he has abroad before he was able to have that one. But if that is all he did in Nigeria, he's my man. Invest the money, steal it and invest it. I always say to all of them, those of you in power, nothing wrong if you steal, but can you invest the money at home? Especially a low life like you, we want to come and invest it abroad where you have electricity. Who brought the electricity here? Is it animal that give us electricity in UK? How did they manage to have security? And you are in power. This is exactly what Babangida did. Look at him now. He's on his knees today. Babangida is a coward, as I can say. Big time coward. And that is what you guys are. Not only Babangida, we're only using Babangida as a case study. Nigerian politicians, you are no better than Babangida. The day you rig election, you are Babangida. The day you carry our money abroad, you are Babangida number 2. Kai. The day you, in fact, you mismanage our resources, you are Babangida number 3. It's bad. And it gets to stop. So we come to what the federal government can do. Let's start with the federal government. Can do to fight poverty. Benito was going to come out with the issue of electricity. That there will be no solution if there's no electricity. I agree. But electricity is actually looking at the topic from the surface. And the same country, Nigeria, have lived a time. That's why I love, when I talk, I always say I refer back to history because I've lived through it. I'm a 58 years old man. So some of these things have gone, I witnessed them. There was a time in Nigeria when I was growing up, there was no electricity. But it came slowly, and look at where we are today. The first television that came to my village was in the town hall. And then we'd go look at. So today there's television, even there's laptop, my children, I see them playing with a lot of toys. I said, I didn't see this when we were growing up. So the world is evolving, which is but is Africa part of it? You know, and I'm going to say something today. This is my belief, or it's everybody must not take this. Yeah, when I was growing up, I grew up in the Catholic church, and we only sing one song in the firmament. Where did I forget that song? In the firmament, when I'll be looking up, I'll be looking at the sky, the beautiful sky, the sun, the moon, and all of them. Beautiful. That was the firmament. And I was wondering how beautiful the sky was. But my people, there was a day I was coming down to UK. And as the plane was descending, when I looked down, I saw light more than the firmament. Sorry, God. We human beings have created more firmament. Our beautiful sky is now more beautiful than the earth. In fact, human beings have contributed a lot to the world. The United Kingdom, America, China, Russia, they've done their part. Africa is the only people behind. When you see come down from from Lagos airport, eh, sometimes you could see the wonder whether not this, but sometimes we have some light now, so we're improving. But hey, we can do better. That's why I say to those of us that teach us, these are modern pastors in Nigeria, the kind of rubbish you guys preach. The only thing you can do to please God is when you begin to create. God created his firmament. Man has created firmament. That is why God said, go and till your land. He gave you dominion over the earth to make it look better than what he has done. God created only two people. He said we should multiply. With how many world we are? Four. Nation of the world must be about 4 to 5 billion people right now. From only two. Have we not tried? And by in another few years, people they talk anyhow. The population can grow to 50 billion. We'll still be fine. The world is not the world have enough space to take all of us. That's how God created it. He wants us to expand, take over the earth. So where we are now is nothing compared to what God wants us to have. But how are we going to get there if we don't create? That's why you can never please God by clapping for him. Oh, God, how that God eat is dance, is singing. Because that man, when they call David, he don't take people wife, they sing to them. Say, God forgive them. You see, God na mumu. So when you just they sing, when you don't do evil finish, God go they dance, follow you. Now you be. Now they insult God. So no matter what you do, you begin to sing. What God eats is praises. Are you mad? What God loves is creation. Take it from me. I have a church. What God is saying you should come and do is to create, contribute to the world. I always give this instance. When you come out today, you see the sun. You see everything. In my studio here, there's no sun here. I have my light all set up. That's why you can see me. This is created by man. The sun is created by God. I can see the beautiful outside. But in here, in my studio, God knows that I have to create something to create what I'm doing now. And that is the light. You're going to give credit to those that create light. That is what God wants you to do. God wants the light, the world to be lit up. More than as it is now. I know it's going to lit it up other than me and you. So Nigerian government, let's come to this other part of it. Very interesting, difficult part of it we're going to talk about right now. I know this is not going to be interesting to you. You know, African people, we learn all the bad things and we don't learn the good things from the West. And I'm happy they don't want to help us, they don't want to correct us, so we've said about that already. But number two, how about us, Papangida, when you were in power, your people don't have food to eat. So that's not your problem. Tinubu is in power. Your people don't have food to eat. Tinubu food, something you put in your mouth. They don't have it. And I don't know the kind of president you have. That the first thing you do is to fight poverty. And the biggest poverty is the one you put food in your mouth. The one that goes to the mouth. Because when people are well fed, then they can think well. How can Nigerians go to bed hungry? Where on earth is it acceptable? In Europe, what they did, they call it the they did the agricultural revolution. Something they intentionally, it didn't happen by accident too. It was an intentional act by the West to declare, it was the agricultural revolution that led to the industrial revolution. It started with the agricultural revolution. Nigerians, we want to start with the industrial revolution. Whether we've not solved the problem of agricultural revolution, they don't understand this. The West started with agricultural revolution. They were able, they did the cross fertilization, the cross breeding. In fact, they breeded the animals that they want to have, they want to preserve. They breeded more of that one. They use the same land. They did cross irrigation. They use this. They plant this one now. They come back and plant another one. That way, they were able to use the same soil for again and again. All of them are now open to children of agriculture. This knowledge are not hidden from those of you in Nigeria today. I know, and sometimes I wonder, do we have a Greek student in Nigeria? Do you people even study it? Now, the West have their own. Can we do it now in our own way? We have a better land than even them. Yet we cannot feed ourselves. And you have a president who said he's constructing road, Greek revolution, industrial revolution. You all talk about industries. What are you going to do with industries? We cannot even solve the immediate one first. Without a Greek revolution, there will not be industrial revolution. It has to be that process. So the first thing Africa need to do, Nigeria need to do, is to fight food poverty. Food shortages is a crime against humanity. It's equal to genocide. When people don't have food to eat, and I'm calling on this community, what is going on in Africa? That some people don't have food to eat. It's genocide. And the cause is on every one of us. And those of you who are Christians, and those of you who are Muslims, I'm wondering, do you think God is happy to see the world that some people don't have food to eat? And you are dancing. Or for those of you, of course, when you dance and praise God, you please God. All you're going to do, God wants you to do is dance. I'm happy Muslims don't even support that. You're dancing. So God, when you just make God, they dance. They give you the food for you. So God is that cheap. So when you just dance, when you just sing praises to her like David, when they commit adultery finish, you're going to sing. So that is when God will begin to rain the good thing on him. So you think that one is the true preaching. That's why you see God. Now they sought my God. God does not care about how much you can sing. When you want to please God, you multiply the earth. You contribute to the world. They ask many of you today, since you were born, what have you contributed to this world? So you come here, can't waste God time. You're a waste of space. You're not coming back. In fact, I don't think we'll go to hell. The judgment of God is going to be different from what you see now. God knows you are weak. God is not even going to punish you. Say you kill somebody, you commit adultery. This one, the only sin they talk about in church now, how to commit adultery, you do this one, you do this one. God knows that you are weak. Now, none of those ones will send you to hell. The thing that will send you straight to hell if you come and waste God's time. You're not coming back. You belong to hell. You are born in the way. Because God brought you here to contribute to this world. What have you contributed to the world? Look at Babangida today. Babangida, God has forgiven you for all the killings. You see, look at Babangida. For Babangida to come out with all the atrocity he has done, with all the killing he has done, he's still there. He still have God. And God is not against him. Have you killed somebody? Babangida, how many people has Babangida ordered to be killed? Is he not there now? He's justifying it. He killed his best friend. He's justifying it. The man has done nothing wrong. And in the eyes of God, he's free. The only thing Babangida must have done well is Babangida came to this world and he made an impact. Have you? You come here, can't look. They create you to come look this world. It is a God create you, not get time to do. He can't create you to come look. You look, finish, you go. You go to hell. So the judgment of God is different from what the Bible is teaching you, or those people they teach you. Not the Bible that they use, now their own interpretation, their understanding. Now when you commit some sin, what are the sins said? I forget the sins they keep telling us that we're going to commit. I don't know which kind of sin they say we will not commit. You know, for some reason today, my system, only my hand will just touch something and the thing will just switch. Not me, they switch, I'm on, only the thing. Maybe they talk rubbish. That's why they see the dress. Anyway, that is another very important thing we should all stop and we should learn to do. God will not judge us from the sins. What is a sin? In fact, there's a way they will interpret this. Oh, when you sin against, when you take a woman, like people like us, when you take. So if I marry more than one wife, I don't commit sin, I don't go heaven. Now I need people who are stupid. In fact, what I say to them is, are you people blind? The Muslim culture allow you to marry 4 wives. In fact, when you do God well, He will give you plenty of wives. Women are not vex. So how can sleeping with women be the greatest sin that you will sin against God? Tell me another thing, you kill somebody. It's not the Cain that killed his brother. It's Cain. How many punishment did God punish Cain? He knows our weaknesses. He knows of the things which we do not do. Where God will not forgive you is if you come to this world and waste God's time. That the time you were here on earth, you did not contribute one thing to this world. You are a waste of space. And God don't have time to waste. He doesn't have this space to waste. You will not come back. They will wipe you. They will. In fact, I don't think they go here. I know that my preaching be this one. Not be Bible, not be Quran, not be anywhere. Not that the Christ preaching. That if you come to this world and you did not contribute to the world, that is when you have wasted God's time. Have you read the Bible? The only commandment God gave to us, it was an instruction. God not even gave commandment. The commandment, they said the 10 commandments. Who is that the 10 commandment? It was a way that the way you can live among yourself. That shall not convert your brother's wife. That shall not commit adultery. You must honor your father and your mother. Is that God commandment? How can that be God commandment? Are you for sheep? God not get job. He gave Moses what they should have to live in harmony. Because they were like one family and they would need to live together. That was those laws. Those are not the laws of God, my people. God only instruct man at the beginning. Go, ye and multiply. In the garden, he dropped man in the garden and said, till the earth. What have you done? What have you done? If you come here and look finish, so you go back, go meet God. God will tell you, say, what do you do for them? Go ask you. Not be how many things you come here. How many with this? You know where they be seen. God is already in us. He controls us. It is when we do wrong, when we don't do wrong. He sees it. I don't want to go into preaching today. God, that is my church thing. Anyway, let's talk about how we can take out poverty. And I'm going to repeat this topic again and again, and I think it's a big topic to talk about. But I want to just say this before I go on the commercial break. Nigerian government, what I've been saying is, if you want to please God, you know what you do? You create. Federal government of Nigeria, what do? You create. State government, what do? You create. Local government, what do? You create. I'm coming to community, so I'm coming to family unit. But let's stick with the federal government first, and the state government, and the local government. What I've been trying to take from the Bible is, the only time God will be angry with you is when you don't create. When you don't multiply what is given to you. And Jesus Christ compared the kingdom of heaven. It's not me, to a man that gave his servant 3 equal amount of money. And he left. He said, use the money. God has given the world to 5 children. The continent of Africa, the continent of Europe, the continent of Asia, the continent of America, and North America. 5. When he comes back, he's going to ask us, what did you do with the land I gave you? Now, Nigerian government will say, I've been using motivating my people to farm. God does not, that's a process. God wants to see results. When God will come back today and he will see what people have done in Europe, he will look at them. You were able to create all this. You created a plane. You created all these things. I'm sure God will be happy with them. Because that's what Jesus said. He said, one of the servants multiplied the money. It becomes 2. And the master was happy. That's the Bible, not me. The master was happy. He was comparing this to God. God has given Africa the best, Nigeria, the best land. We could not cultivate it. And this is where God is going to be confused. And God is really disappointed in Africa, Nigeria in particular, and perhaps the government of Nigeria. Let me put it this way. Holland, their land is not as big as Niger State. They don't even have fertile land. Weather here, look at the cold, look at this. Your case, Your weather is good 24 hours. You have sun 24 hours. Even this electricity we are talking about now, you have solar. They don't have here. They could generate electricity for themselves without solar, which is given to you for free. Of course, you don't even know that you could generate electricity from the sun. You see how much God will punish us. He gave us sun free. We don't know how to use it until they come and teach us how to use the sun God has given to us. Here they are looking for the sun. Today we've not seen sun. We will not see sun today. But now, you know the blast for Nigeria now. Have you been able to convert that sun to energy? The answer is no. So you can imagine the anger of God will pour on us. Now look at the beautiful land we have. Free water. We dey wait until God rain fall before we cultivate, before our plants get water. Okay. Here, and if there's no rain in Nigeria, all our food will die. All our farming will go. But here, they don't wait for that one. They were able to create their own water, spray water when they need it. They create the environment. I work in a glass farm, in tomatoes farm in Belgium for some time. They created their own. And you are saying that God is not with them. Oyedipo, Adeboye, God is not with these people. God is with you. I don't know which God you are talking about. Is it the same God of Jesus Christ? Is it the same Jesus that compared the kingdom of heaven to this man? Is it the same God you are talking about? Which other God? Or is it the God that you're going to sing praises to? God, not God, God will dance. I don't know who teach you all these things. Until Africa understand God, that's something I'm saying today. And that is where poverty, that's how we're going to fight poverty. God is angry that we are hungry. And he has every right to be angry. God is very angry, not at people like Babangida. It's a waste of space. But God is very angry with us because look at it. And that's why Babangida must listen to what I have to say today. Because you were given the weapon to fight these things, you did it. Your leadership failed us completely. In Holland today, they make over 100 and something billion from sales of agri products. Holland no get better land. In fact, their land is below the sea level. Yet they could farm and sell and make 100 billion a year. You say Holland they be gay, then they practice gayism. Yes, they will go to heaven. They will go to hell. You went on they practice gay for Nigeria. They marry, they deceive yourself. They sleep with your pastor. The pastor they take all the women. Now go heaven. And that won't be the sin when God they look at. I'm coming before you, my brothers, and say, hey, those ones are not even sin in the eyes of God. The true sin is when you don't cultivate, when you don't obey the only commandment of God. Like I asked you, you go and sleep today, and maybe that the priest said something you will not even agree with me. I don't want you to even agree, but I'm here to annoy many people. Do you really think that when you sing, God will dance and He will give you money? That's why you will continue to die in poverty, Africa. When you start to think of how to create, God will help you with more ideas. You will begin to create. And that is when you please God. And God will continue to multiply you. On Sunday, now all of you go to church and dance and dance and dance. You don't use that time to create. You can't use that time to farm. Some of you don't even have a home. What is in a house that we cannot build for ourselves? Nigerian government. What is in a house that we cannot build? We cannot build for ourselves. We couldn't build a house to stay. In those days, my parents, when I grew up in my village, the peers mates, when the men are a particular age, they will gather, they will go and build one person's house. Then the rest will gather and build another one. That's how all of them have their home and they get married. Today, we could not even build a house. Our mother has them, but at least we have our own. Today, you don't have a home. Is this not a cause? Think God is happy with us? You're deceiving yourself. Now I'm going to do so many things today to annoy you. I know what I'm doing, I'm annoying you. And perhaps In the process of knowing you, you're probably going to think, why did I say this? We need to fight poverty. To fight poverty, we need to understand. Maybe if you are a Christian, whatever, you need to understand. I'm taking it from the Christian point of view. And whatever portion of the Bible you guys are taking, I don't understand it. But the only time God instructed man is what I told you. And that's my understanding. And when Jesus Christ came, because in the beginning God instructed man, and Jesus Christ now compared the kingdom of heaven to that one. The God, what will please God in heaven, what pleases heaven is when a man contributes constructively to the world. Create, my brother. The government of Nigeria is not creative. Tinubu came to power. Not verse about Tinubu, not verse because I come now. I'm talking about fighting poverty, sir. So it's not, I'm not fighting you. You came to power. You have Ministry of Agriculture. That will not interest you. You have Minister of Petroleum. Buhari, that one starter. And Minister of Petroleum. Konade they collect money. Because you go wash her, wash his leg, they pray. Buhari no say that they get farm. But they eat cow. They do like they eat cow. But he forgot that he can farm. That one not interest Buhari. Of all the people as you see around him farming, the north are not your problem. The ordinary northerner is not your problem. They are good farmers. The Buhari even helped them to begin to bring out more animals. To breed animals. He said they want to create even to create even ordinary. You see now, people are fighting. You see what is the cost of Nigeria? Those ones that can have animals that would have been a blessing to us with ranches, and we begin to have more animals and begin to grow animals and to feed the other part. Then this other side where they can grow crops so that we can sell to one another. Now we are not, because we could not create ranches, the animals are coming to eat the crops. And now there's tension, there's fight between the community. And the government of Nigeria is looking. They say, no, it's a politically motivated. No, you are the devil. You are the devil. You are the one God doesn't want to see. You are the people God going to wipe first. And you are the people destroying God's. You see, this world belongs to God. This is his kingdom. You are destroying his kingdom. God wants us to progress. Look at the West. If they have people, set of people, a Western leader will come and see, oh, these people can have animals, they can farm like this. They will help them to create ranches. And you will see them multiplying. The number of cows that will be multiplying on a daily basis, they will go into research. And those who can farm crops, they will go into that. So that at the end, the country will boom. Because our government is looking at oil. Ministers of Petroleums, Tinubu and Buhari, the people are fighting themselves. What I am trying to say today is the first and most important ministry is the Ministry of Petrol, is the Ministry of Agriculture. Had it been we have a president who said, I am today the Minister of Agriculture, the way Buhari could come out and say, I am in charge of petroleum. I thought Tinubu, who said he's an intelligent man, was going to come and say, I am in charge of agriculture. That would have changed it. And like I said before on this show, without agric revolution, there will be no industrial revolution. Not that you people are even doing the industrial revolution. The oil you have, that you shared, Babangida helped to share. I talked about that yesterday. You share the oil. Now it's the West that is coming to collect the oil. They share, all of them go there to collect. Nobody, no. In fact, I think they are fulfilling the gospel. Because what did God say? Jesus Christ said, the food of the small one given to this man before will be given to the one that have worked hard. On a good day, you cannot blame them. If they leave the oil, you for not even know what they say oil they there. You didn't know there's oil. So it's those people that help to discover the oil, they are the one benefiting it now. It's biblical. Because when the master came, he took what he gave to the small, to the stupid one, and gave it to those ones who have multiplied, because you are the one that know how to use my money. Why will I waste my money with you? Why will God waste more resources on Africa? That's why you become a slave, and will remain a slave. More than not vex. We will continue to be slaves to the West until We continue until we understand God. God is not somebody you dance and you please. All of them will go heaven for where? Whereas China, they grow. China is multiplying. China don't go to church. China believe in God more than you because they are doing the will of God. You don't believe in God. You don't say, I believe in God. I blah, 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 blah. No, you do what God wants you to do. Create. On Sunday night, yesterday, all of them go church. Now come back, evil. They sleep with people. Why? The most important thing God asked you to do, you couldn't create one pin. One pin. Now not have electricity. I said to my people here now there's no internet in Asaba. Babangida, that state you created, that you thought you were shooting with your wife, no internet there. They don't go out. They can't join me. This is the first time I'm struggling to get Asaba to broadcast, to join us like this. Look at it. We always talk. I said we don't make it pain, it will pain everybody. Today we are behind. We are behind because God is angry with us. And because the pastors and the so-called religious people have been able to brainwash us, identify our problem differently. We don't have a problem with immorality. Because we go to church, if you're talking of a moral state, Nigeria is more moral than everywhere. We go to church on Sunday, we believe in one another, we believe in family, we believe, we obey God. The moral thing is God. If it's moral, we believe in more than the West. But God will continue to bless the West because He's saying about that. God did not create you a moral being because He knows you are not a moral being. You can never please God. You are not pure, you are dirty. You they go shit. How can a cheat person where they shit, they clean? You fit say you clean now. Go to toilet. Not be your body shit they come from. The shit that come out of you, is it not part of you? How can you be clean? God did not create us to be clean beings. He created us to perfect, to cultivate things, to grow the earth. And you cannot take anything from the West. And I believe that slavery was a curse, was a punishment on us. Because look what the Bible said, they will take what the idiot that didn't cultivate, they take it from them and give it to those who did something with it. And you cannot blame them because when we went there, when they took us to Europe, they were using us to create good things to the pleasure of God. Maybe it's time for us to revise that time. It's not too late. But let us preach the right gospel to ourselves. Let's not preach the gospel that when we dance, when we sing, that God will be blessing us. Are you sick? Is God a sheep being that when you bang, God will give you money? When you please God, like what Chinese is doing, yeah, God will begin to bless you. And China will continue to be blessed. In fact, most of the things China is doing today, American companies are running to China. God is now taking it because you are working hard, my people. If Africa turn the tide tomorrow and we begin to work hard, things will turn to us again. God does not hate us. God loves us. But until we do the right thing, God has no time for time wasters. We waste our space. And that is what we need to do. And the message, you know why I'm doing this? I want to send a message to Nigerian government that we need to first identify that we need to start to create. We need to start to work. That every government, I'm coming to that. That government have no business in production. So it's the ordinary people that will do that. So the government don't have business in production. Oh, when God come now, we say, Babangida will say, but I gave the people room to farm. How many people do you give room to farm? Where is your own farm? Where on earth the government say you cannot farm? Asaba, you are back. Let me see if I will have Asaba for the next few minutes. I'll be talking to myself for Asaba. It's not fair. I'm still fighting poverty. What is going on?
Technical issues, sir.
So sorry about that.
So I understand.
Technical issues. These things happen sometimes.
Yes, I know. I know when you have Asaba for once, it's the first time we're having you now, so we are celebrating it. Today is a day to celebrate. But Benjamin and
Of course.
I have something I am talking about, and I want us to just look at that. You know, And I go in biblical here. I'm talking about fighting poverty. And I'm taking the root from the Bible. And I'm saying that sometimes I don't know what the preachers in Nigeria are preaching. That when you want to please God, they said when you sing like David is a man that who's close to God's heart. When he don't commit adultery finish, he go come sing. God will bless him. So that is the portion of the Bible we take it. And that's why we are poor. And I said on the show, you guys, I know you guys don't have to agree with me, but I just want us to talk about this. Another thing I talk about is, they said Moses went to God to go and take the 10 Commandments. Have you read the 10 Commandments? The 10 Commandments is not the commandment of God. It's God telling people how to live together in harmony. There's only one commandment God gave to us, which is at the beginning when he created the world. He said, God created, he created. When he rests, he now said to man, create. That's what God did. And when Jesus Christ came to this world, this is what I've been saying when you guys are not here, so that you hear me. When Jesus Christ came to this world, he compared the kingdom of heaven to a rich man who has three servants. He gave them equal amount of money. He left. When he came back, one cultivated his own, make the money twice. He gave it to the master. The second one did half. One of them said, I will know you are a greedy man. We keep your money, take your money back. What did the man do?
He removed the money from him.
So you think God will be happy with Africa when he come back and say all the blessing? God deposited everything in Africa. He gave us sun. He gave us good land. We don't cultivate. We cannot feed ourselves. You think God will be happy with us? If we go to church, what the pastors are preaching is how God is going to sing praises to God. Praises, hallelujah. I know everything was dancing on Sunday. He dance. You know, the question I ask is, why would God be happy with people that just dance? And God will hate people in China who are creating. And yet the same Jesus Christ told you that he compared the kingdom of heaven. Is there justice in it? The other man did not steal. He only said, I will keep my master something and give it back to him. But one multiplied his own. The one that kept the money was taken from and given to China. So African thing now is not taken from us and given to China. China is coming to take what God gave to us because our own has been given to China. And we're going to cry. Look at the Chinese. But were you using it? If you're not using it, what is God going to do? He's going to take it from you and give it to those who can use it.
Take it from you. And that is what has been happening to us. And not just Nigeria alone, but the entire African continent.
Thank you, sir.
And if you want to go back to the 20th century, 19th century, from the 19th century, look at.
Oh, no, these people, they just want to punish me. I want to have Benjamin on the show. I want to have these people from Asaba today. This is not fair. Maybe you guys need to change the network, but God will help us. Once we can help Benjamin, we'll bring him back. You know, because they are agreeing with me. That's why I'm happy. But that's not it alone. You said think on your own. Benjamin, when I can hear you, keep talking, because I'll bring you back.
That is my take-off point.
Okay, yes. So Benjamin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Yes. So your network went off and on. That was why I said, like we're saying, you know, they preach to us that if we just sing and dance and we praise God, that God will be happy with us. God will never be happy with people who don't know how to use the thing he has given to them.
The talent he has given to us.
Yes, look at it. You are in the studio there. There's no light. You don't have the little facilities to be here. You think God is happy? Now, the new technology which the white man has created is what we're using to preach the word of God. Today now, people no more go. When Jesus Christ was on earth, there was no internet. There was no microphone. There was no light. If Jesus Christ were to be here now, Jesus Christ will only sit in one place and preach to the rest of the world. You don't need to walk from one place to the other. The man was walking from one place to the other. You see, so God wants us to contribute to the world. That is why he created us. It's the only commandment God gave to us. Africans are not cultivating. They are not using their land. And today we are slaves in our own land. Biblical. It's not magic. And perhaps, how do we fight poverty? It's getting our leaders to create. Let's beg our leaders. Let's challenge them. Let's hold them accountable. In fact, sometimes I was telling them that I don't even mind those who can steal money. As long as you can create. Because there's no money. How much can you steal? There's no money in Nigeria. You know the truth. The Delta State, sorry, and we are talking now, the verse from now for there. The Delta State collect allocation every month.
Very well.
They don't create it. They collect the money, they will finish the money. Then they wait for next month to come. They will finish it. Then the money will come next month. And if I talk, we'll only start for Delta State. If not, I go throw bomb for that place. How can you collect money? You collect money, you be useless wife. Basically, it's like I give my wife money. Evening, if your husband give you money, take cook today. You wait till next Sunday. He give you. You not save small money. The next the man go tire. The bedroom not going to suit again.
Who no go tire?
Yes.
But when the wife he contributes more, the man will be happy. You see, my wife is doing this. My wife is doing this. You understand? The man will be happy.
Of course.
God is tired of us. Now look at what the government of Delta State is doing. They will collect money. They will spend it all. They will collect. They will spend it all. They collect. They spend it all. Nigerian government, like I said today, Tinubu came to power just like Buhari. He said, "I'm Minister of Petroleum." They don't see agriculture. People are hungry. You could not be Minister of Agriculture. You are Minister of Petroleum. You see our priorities. So this is the problem we're facing as a people. God is very unhappy with us. Not unlike they say they have so many churches. Which church is doing what? I saw one of your pastors this Christmas. He go meet God. They tell God, say, speak. Your servant is listening. The man they talk to God. If na Europe here, we will arrest him. If he do it in the UK, he will be arrested. if he try here, he will go to jail. I swear. You understand? They will just bring him down and put him in prison. That you are deceiving people. Can you?
God has already blessed Nigeria. Like the country is blessed, but it's the people on seat. Because even with the allocations from the foreign lands, nothing gets to the people. So it will be very difficult to eradicate poverty unless we start from the top ladder, the people over there.
Leadership. That is what we are lacking.
The problem has to be sorted from there before it gets to the people, because nothing gets to the people. You have so many allocations coming from the foreign lands. Nigeria is blessed with oil and everything, but the people does not benefit from all this. Why? Because of the leaders there.
You see, a lot of misplaced priorities. Let me give just one example with our state government here.
Okay.
What are we doing just now? We just sent about 250 people on pilgrimage to Jordan and Israel. 250 people on pilgrimage. Is that not misplaced priority? How much that will cost? They won't tell us, but they will tell us the number of people they are taking to Israel. To do what? At this age and time. These are misplaced priorities as far as I'm concerned. So why won't there be poverty in the land with this kind of the priorities that our governments are holding on to? Just because it has been there, it must continue. There must be something some people are benefiting from it. That is why it is still there, and it will continue to be there unless people rise to oppose it. That is why I see.
I'm happy to hear this. So, you see that this is exactly what we're saying. Now, it's okay to think I'm going to go to Mecca, to go to Israel, to go and do this. Can you see the shameful part? Because they've been told, perhaps they need to be educated. They've been told that the only way God can bless you is when you go to Mecca, when you are very religious. But the blessing of God,
that is for the Muslim.
Exactly. But the blessing
That
of
is
God,
for the Muslim. But for we Christians,
yes. When I see they go Israel now,
yes.
when they go Israel now, when they go
You're
Israel
praying
now.
for a country that is already blessed with resources.
Thank you. So what is lacking is the mentality that the blessing will not come from going to Mecca. It will come from us producing our own thing. This is the thing. You understand? Let's go back to the Bible. God will not bless you because you kneel down and pray to him. He doesn't need your prayer. God is not so, how can God be so cheap until you do this? No. When you want to please God, you begin to create things. And God will be looking down and say, yeah, my son is working. I don't know when the father look at his son and he said the son is doing things, the man will be happy that my son is truly representing me. The Bible taught us in the beginning, God created this, God created this, God created this. On the seventh day, the man rested. From that day, it's relying on us to create. Instead, we want to go and pray. We go to Mecca to go and pray. You go to Israel to go and pray. If you see one onions in Israel, it's like this. Israel. Onions. Now prayer. Is it prayer? Israelis are the best in agriculture. Why don't you go and study agriculture?
Agriculture. And where is the land they have compared to our own?
They don't have a land, though. They don't have a land.
Nigeria does not need God.
They are fighting for.
Okay.
Have you been to the small place?
Nigeria does not need God to eradicate poverty.
No, go to Israel. Look at the place they are fighting. The Israeli and the Palestinians. Very small land. In fact, you can bury all of them in Niger State. The whole of that region, you put it inside Niger State. But look at people in Niger State, they go to bed hungry with all the blessings in the land. You see, God is so angry with us in Africa because we don't use what, maybe the first thing is understanding God. These are our new pastors that preach us that to go to heaven, or I don't know which heaven they are going. That the only thing you can do to please God is when you pray to God and you come to church on Sunday, you do offering, you do tithe. Then they do their own. Then government, they do their own. If we know, say the only way we can please God is when we begin to obey God by creating. Because the man rested on the seventh day. And from that day, he's waiting for us. Listen, my brother, the light you have in the studio today is not created by God, it's created by man. It's the one outside that is created by God. So God wants us to create. God is happy when we can create. Look at what is even happening now. Chinese are now creating so much that they are even taking from America. God is a very fair God. God will not keep you because you've done it before. You will continue to do it. If you don't continue, the one that is doing it will take over. Chinese have taken over. iPhone today is made in China. An American product made in China.
Of course.
Because Chinese are doing the right things. They are pleasing God. And I'm saying to people today, I'm saying to the pastors in Nigeria, the Chinese people are pleasing God. And that's why your land, they're going to give it to Chinese. It's God that give it to them. It's not me. And this is the Bible. Bible I'm quoting, not anybody else. It's the Bible. Because that portion of the Bible, people don't preach it. They don't tell us that Jesus Christ is not me. Compare the kingdom of heaven to a man that gave his children equal amount of things. He came back and look at what he saw. God come back now and see us hungry with all the things he has given to us. If you be God, you not go best. If you be God, self, if you be father, you gave this whole thing you have in Nigeria to your child, to your children. And you come back and you see them in hunger, you not go best. Would you be angry?
It's shameful.
So, and that is where the issue of fighting poverty needs to start from. It starts to start from the mentality, the belief that we are what? That we are going to be doing well, that we're doing better. I don't know how we're going to do it. The mentality that one way to please God is to sing praises, to go to church on Sunday. The only way you can please God is when you do what God asks you to do by creating. Multiply the earth. God has stopped creation from the 7 days. The man is resting. He's not waiting for us to do it. Africa is sleeping. Nigeria is number one. Nigerian government number two. We need to change this. And perhaps if we can do that, poverty will begin to leave our land. And so until we get that mentality right, because if you ask people today, even if you ask some Nigerians on Sunday now, they go to church. I swear. And they will defend it. They will preach the Bible in such a way that sometimes I just keep quiet because there's nothing to argue here. But these people are actually not confused. They don't ask themselves, why is China continue to grow? And in case like this, Chinese will come and take all our women. every novice. That's what happened when people cannot defend themselves. In those days, they will sell them away as slaves. That's what will happen to us if we don't stand to defend what God has given to us. We have failed God in too many ways, and it's time for us to stop doing so. And I want to say, like we talk about the state and I want to talk about community today before, but I think we can leave community because we have a lot. This is a topic we will develop as we move on. It's not something we're going to finish in a day. So I think we should try and get that to happen soon. What I will say is this: we've started the show well today. I'm happy your system. You people are now creating in Asaba. You see, let me put it this way: if I am a man, I am here. When I see good thing come from Asaba, I get pleased because that's my mission, my vision. That's how you must see how God wants the world to be. God wants the world to explode, to be. You know, I was giving instance when you were not on the show that when I was young, there's a song we sing about the firmament. Then when I look up as a child, I will see the moon, the stars, you know, and I will be singing to the firmament. You understand? My brother, if you're my sister, if you're looking down today, as the plane is descending, if you look into Heathrow Airport and you look at London from up, you will know what is firmament. It's beautiful. This is the one work of man, and that pleases God. And that we live in darkness is annoying God. That we don't have food to eat is annoying God.
It's a shame.
Yes.
So our leaders, our religious leaders, not only the politicians, so our religious leaders, our politicians, and we as a family, and even question the West. We don't say we do. God don't bless you now. God they take what we get. But now we want to turn the tide, and we can only turn the tide if we choose to. We can only turn the tide if we can do one thing. And what we're going to do is now begin to create. Let us begin to create. Let us have our own big farmland. You know what is funny, my brother? As about this, the land, the land in Niger State is bigger than Holland. Holland, is the Netherlands.
Wow.
If you put the whole of the Netherlands,
Yes.
it's only be one part of Niger State. But guess what?
You see?
Netherlands is selling agri product, 100 billion they make it a year. 100 billion. People in Niger State don't have food to eat. Our land is bigger, and we are more blessed. We have sun. The sun God gave to us, they don't have it. Today now in UK, I'm cold. And I know you people have sun. Sun can be converted to energy, electricity. Here people don't have light. Here when we don't get sun, we get electricity. You have free sun from God to convert to electricity. You don't have light.
That is it.
So, and until we turn this tide around, God's wrath will continue to fall on us. And we are praying. And we're not going to pray ourselves out of it. We're going to walk ourselves out of it. They don't go to church on Sunday to pray. It's not a thing of prayer. God don't need your prayer. God needs you to walk yourself out of this poverty. And that's why I said to myself, when I read the Bible and I read what the pastors are doing and what you know what they tell me? Your president said, "Oh, I want to share this with you before we close." They said the government is saying that we don't need to. It's not government business to begin to farm. It's not government business to have an airline. It's private people that will have it. And I said to myself, I'm confused. There are so many businesses the government can need to do. In those days, Nigeria have Nigerian Airways. They never born Evelyn, but I know Benjamin saw Nigerian Airways. We have the Nigerian Electric Power Authority. Now they call NEPA tomorrow. All these are corporations of the government and Nigerian National Shipping Line. These were things done by the federal government to raise money. You know what I said to myself today? And I was sharing this with a doctor 2 days ago. I said, do you know you people don't have water in Nigeria? Water to drink, ordinary water. Is that not a sin? Can you even offend God more than that? Good water you don't have. Yet the government of Nigeria is telling me that it's not their business to do water business. There's no water in the land. People are dying not of disease, cheap diseases that would have. And imagine now, say Delta State can't create Delta water. Just simple business, so Delta water. It not go cost the government anything to set up good factory to produce water. And they begin to sell water around the whole of Nigeria and make money. Would that be so bad?
They
Maybe
won't do that.
we'll have good water to drink. Water will come to us at a cheaper rate, and the government will be making money. No, it's not their business to do business. They're waiting for me to do it. How much do I have to do the business? So we have a problem. And until pastors stop telling them, and of course, our governor will go meet Oyedepo, go pray for them. What do our governor go meet Oyedepo, make him pray for them? But God already bless you. God already bless you, governor. Do what God wants you to do with the
That's
office. Go on, daughter.
That's what I'm saying. God will not come down himself to do these things, to create infrastructure and do these things. He has already blessed Nigeria with the resources. And our leaders now, they are like our mini God. They have the resources and the power to make these things happen in Nigeria if they really want to eradicate poverty in Nigeria. Because
this guy, God just put something into your mouth.
Sitting there.
The so-called leaders.
Yes, the so-called leaders.
Yes. You know what Jesus Christ said to.
So if we have to eradicate poverty, it has to start from the leadership.
Okay.
Yes.
You see, there's something there. I'm going to use one instance here now. When Jesus was talking, he said, they are saying who I am. And they said to his disciples, who do you say I am? The disciple was saying something, you are John the Baptist, you are this, you are that. But what about you? What do you think who I am? Then Peter said, you are the Son.
What do you say I am?
You understand? And what did God say? What did Jesus Christ say to him? He said, what you just spoken is the word of God. God has inspired you to say so. Young woman, you said something just now. God has just inspired you to say something. Our government are mini God. They are God representative on earth. And sometimes they don't understand this. God is no more here. When God, he now make kings, he now make leaders, so that in his absence will not be a vacuum. He now taught us to organize ourselves, get a leadership. So somebody in power is equal to God on earth. He's not the main God, but he's representing God. He's the God we have. Instead, Obodiwori go meet a pastor, make it pray for him. He no say na his job to even bless the pastor.
Yes.
Because you have the resources, God has given you all the power to change lives abundantly. The power in the hands of the local government chairman is unbelievable. I just made an instance just now. Will it be out of place if local governments in Delta State alone start to have their own farm? If all of them if federal government give them 1 billion, say today, every local government in Nigeria should farm. Do you know how many food we'll have in 6 months? The money we are wasting to marry new wives, buying yashis for all of them. If they share 1 billion among our local government, my people, do you know how much food we will produce in 6 months? But what is stopping us? We don't pray rich, we don't try rich. What is stopping us from every local government having a farm? We are hungry. Because, like you said, Benjamin said, misplaced priorities. Instead of you to be Minister of Agriculture, you are Minister of Petroleum. So you are even lost. And there will be no industrial revolution without agricultural revolution. It didn't happen in Europe.
Of course. Of course.
We need to start with the agricultural revolution in Nigeria, and we can do it. The time to do it is now. Perhaps we'll use this opportunity to call on our leaders. I think with time we're going to go to the community, what the community can do. That the leaders are saying that they are not part of government, they are not part of, they cannot farm. How can Nigerian government say they cannot farm? When your people are dying in poverty, you see, Tinubu will now say, when there's no rice, that you import rice. Not to produce rice, not to farm rice. Tinubu said that you bring more rice. How about saying,
Import.
in the next, my daughter, will it be out of place to say, okay, now
Though
I am president?
Nigeria has,
Go.
although Africa has been brought out of slavery, but I think we still have this slavery mentality. Like we are still dependent. We still
Yes.
depend on the foreign countries. Why would we import rice when these things we have the resources? We can actually produce things like this. But everything we just want to be dependent. We want importation.
Import
We should be
mentality.
the one exporting things like this,
That
not
is it.
importing.
The import mentality has been with us right from the 70s.
And that is
Everything
slavery
imported.
mentality.
You know, during when there was that crisis, there was a there was the people in the north were selling food to Niger, and the vice president Srtv came out and said that is sabotage, that they are selling our food to people, to fellow Africans. And I said to myself, what is this man talking about? Somebody grow his crop and he's selling it. You say it's sabotage. You could not even farm. You that sit on your hand, President Tinubu and your vice president, you couldn't even farm. What will he look at? You know how many youth coppers come out every year? They don't have job. They send them to places to go and serve uselessly. We don't have a farm. If federal government didn't have a farm and say, when you finish, son, go and farm. Go into the farm and work for that 1 year, so that there will be food. In fact, every child will come out of there trained in agriculture first as a skill. It could be poultry, it could be crops, anything. But every local government must farm. Oh. And another thing, water again. Water, and water where people go drink. Nigeria don't get water. And no state, I don't think federal government, no state could even come and say, let me produce water and sell. They said, oh, if state run, they will kill them. You know what? I said Ethiopian airline. Nigeria, what a shame. In fact, other countries are trying. Ethiopia have an airline. Egypt have airline. Even Burkina Faso yesterday get airline. Ghana get airline. Nigeria don't have an airline.
Look at the shame that followed what they said was Nigerian Airlines in the last administration. They went and brought planes from Ethiopia to say they have provided Nigerian Airlines.
Exactly.
Nigerian Airways.
Can you imagine?
It's a shame. It's terrible. It's terrible.
What if only one state? Look at this man now. The only man that brought airline to us in the UK is Airpeace. You see how much we reverence him. I worship Airpeace. You know what? Because he has put some shame out of us. Those of us who want to fly now, you go and carry your things to another people's aircraft to take you to your country. They'll take you to Ethiopia first before they take you home. Wait till when Nigeria could be making millions of money, millions, employing people with buying just how much does it cost to buy aircraft? The money went to say buy yash. Yash, whether or women yash they buy, whether or yash, I don't know what it is. The money to buy the private jet. You know, they just to buy aircraft. No, we are in trouble. So we need to wake up, you know, until these priorities change. There will be no prayer. No Islamic prayer.
The masses need to wake up their leaders. I think that is where it starts from.
Yes.
The masses need to wake up their leaders. If not, we will remain like that.
And not only the political leaders, so they need to wake up the religious leaders too. That leader, when they tell you, say, now only prayer. Say, when you sing, God will give you money. When are you going to sing and God will give you money? Chinese are not singing, God is giving them money. They should stop preaching that rubbish in our. In fact, some of them do it here in the UK. Nigerian pastors.
The money actually comes. God actually blesses and the money comes. But like they say, the prince of Persia that used to seize blessings is just like our leaders. So we don't get to receive it. We don't get to see it.
In fact,
although God blesses.
The religious leaders are the ones taking it now. Not even the religious leaders are taking. Pastor, get big car, get everything. I see one now for my Facebook today. The members buy one better motor to give the pastor. Fast about there. I call the class. And that one go get people. He go they take people wife. Benjamin fear no go let our wife go to church again with the fear. We are worried. No, this is a serious matter, my people. It's very serious. So we need to turn the tap. Let us Nigerians let us
Yeah.
work it out. We're going to continue this topic tomorrow because I don't think we have enough time. Yeah, the system in Asaba didn't allow us to take all I want to Asaba will be given to us today. But this is a test of what can come out of Asaba. I'm proud of you guys. Right? Tomorrow we'll continue this.
Thank you.
We need to create. Yes, it will be better. Tomorrow we need to find a way to talk about the real, how do we eradicate poverty in Nigeria. You understand? Let us all go back and do some research and come and tell Nigerians, faith on. And like I said today, I started with the pastors. Pastors are deceiving us. God is not going to give us our solution if we pray. Prayer ain't going to take us out of this. God don't even need your prayer. God don't need your praises. God is not, you see, when they describe God there, say when you just pray, God go to dance. You were. God is not that sheep. God is not somebody you sing one day. Abraham, David, when he don't commit adultery, finish, he go to sing to God. He said, God go to bless him. Which God?
You can't keep praying for something you already have.
God is blessing China. Are they praying?
Yes.
It's not God.
And religiously, they are not Christians.
They are not.
But yet, in Delta State, we are paying money for people to go to where? To go to Mecca, to go to Israel. Where Chinese are making wake up. See, these are things, these are realities. We need to deal with them. You understand? And until we are sincere with one another, until we are not afraid to tell our pastors, our religious leaders, no, this is not correct. You understand? The Bible did not teach us this. Don't deceive us. Don't turn it around. We know the best way. We know what God wants. God wants us to create and feed ourselves. God will be happy with us when we can feed ourselves. Like what he said, this young woman said, the gods of the people of Pasha that they collect the gift when God is blessed. The blessing our pastors they collect them because pastors not poor. The pastors in Nigeria are not poor. It's the people that are poor. So even
the blessing will come. It comes.
It comes, yes. But it's just that the pastors and our politicians are taking it, you know. And like Benjamin, you were saying something before the thing cut off. You said the West will not even want us to be like them, you know.
Yes,
you cannot expect
definitely.
Who is bigger than you to want to be like you. You know, who does that?
Yes.
So we take it. We don't need to wait for them to give it to us. So maybe
Yes.
it's time for us as a people to wake up from slumber and challenge our leaders, challenge our religious leaders, challenge our community leaders, challenge our governors, challenge our president. Tell President Tinubu it's time to resign from Ministry of Petroleum and become Minister of Agriculture. You know, let us have food on the table. When people can eat, then there will be less concentration of people in fact there will be jobs at the local level. You understand? And then there will be things will begin to it will metamorphose. It will bring. It go more. Because it go more reach everywhere. You understand? Right now, we need to have that awakening, and it's more than necessary. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that tomorrow you will
Thank you.
so that by tomorrow we can have the more brilliant show. I'm proud of you guys, and
very well.
We should do this again.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye for now.
Srtv. Innovative content.